here's something cool you can do. Let me, an appropriate tool. You need a cigarette lighter for this. There is one cool thing that you can do, and that is, see, I got this can of hardwood oysters, right? They come packed in oil. So what you can do, if you don't have a stove, I like to use bracket fungus to make wicks out of to burn oil. If you don't have a bracket fungus, you can use just a piece of a paper napkin. You know, something about 1 inch wide. And what you do, you put that down in there. You stick it down in the food and let the food hold it up. And the napkin will soak up the water. And what you can do is light that on fire. And it'll make a great little oil lamp, for one thing, to see by. But the really cool thing it does is it heats up the oil, and the hot oil heats up the food, so you can make a hot meal just by doing that right there. So if you don't have a stove, and you can't really build a cooking fire or anything like that, you can carry something like this in your pack, something that's packed in oil, like these oysters right here. And yeah, you got to shelter them from the wind. You can hear them sizzling. Listen. Yeah, it's actually the oysters cooking, heating up. So you can let that burn for about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, however long it takes. I've got a really wide wick in there, so it's going to burn the oil quickly. And it'll heat the food up quickly. If you leave the lid on, you can use it for a windbreak. Yeah. But yeah, that's probably the most convenient and easiest camp stove that you can make in the wilderness. And this time I used a piece of napkin, but you can use strips of bracket fungus. You know, the pore material from under the bracket, you can use that. And just stick that in there and catch it on fire. It'll heat your food up. And here in just a minute I'm going to have some really nice hot, hardwood smoked oysters. So what do you think about that? You can put a lot of effort into doing things, or you can put very little effort into doing things. And this is one of my low effort methods of making a camp stove and carrying fire and carrying fuel, carrying food. It's all, it's all combined into one thing. So that makes it super easy. Alright, that's Trapper Jack's no mess cook stove. Yep. Oh wow, I mean, once you've heated those up, you can really taste the hardwood smoke in the food itself. When they're cold, it really don't have a, wow, it don't taste like that when they're cold. Ooh, that's good. Oh yeah. Very special. So these two items can be incredibly important during excessively wet weather or in excessively cold weather. So when the weather's really bad, make sure you have both of these things and you'll be in really good shape. So typically I carried two different things with me in the wintertime. And one of them is a gas stove and a gas heater. Gas stove, flat top. It's got a large base on it that I carry. And this is what I use for, here in Massachusetts in the deep winter time when temperatures can drop to below 0 temps. I generally always carry these two items with me. With full tanks of gas, of course. And that's just an act of prudence. I totally rely on my wilderness skills, but I also believe in duplicating or triplicating a system of doing something so that if one method fails, you have another to fall back on. And you really need that the most when you're going to be out in extreme weather conditions. So this stuff at times is relatively unimportant, but there are times when it becomes incredibly important. And so I like to have it with me during those times when it's really important. And so you can do a lot of stuff with these two items right here. And you make tools with this, as well as cook food. Yeah, you can do the same thing with this. You can make tools with this as well as, eat. They don't make very much light though. They don't provide light, which is, kind of a downside. On a day like today when it's in the 30s, I can sit next to this heat right here. You just sit down, turn it on, sit down on a rock or something. Yeah, that would do a great job. So nobody really gets around very well without a mess kit. You see what I got here is a nice enameled pot. It's like, I don't know, maybe a 1 gallon. It's like a 1 gallon pot. And I use this as a Dutch oven more than anything else. And in wintertime, this is really important for melting snow. So another one of those in there. Always carry a mess kit. Got a compass right there. Right. A can opener. Got an emergency whistle right there. And then knife, fork, and spoon. So yeah, I always carry that. And then I've got this Coleman Max set that I've got right here. It's a Coleman Max set. So this will do all the same things that this larger set will do, but it'll do a lot more of it. So yeah, this is typically what I use to cook with out in the woods. And yeah, this Coleman Max set is really nice. You know, it has the snap handles on it, you know, you just snap into place. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. And then it has the large and small pot with the Sierra cup type handles on it. So that makes that really, really nice. We're doing almost anything out in the woods. Yeah, that heat feels good. So yeah, with just a couple simple things like this, you can brave any situation out in the wilderness that you would encounter, even if you have to melt ice, boil bad water, distill water. You can take dirty water and boil it off and make clean water. I actually have a video on doing that. Here's a clip of it that I'm showing you right now. And so you can do a lot of, you can desalinate water too. If you're near the ocean, you can use this to take salt out of salt water too. So this kit is really, really important. And it's probably more important to know how to use it. I mean, having it is a good thing, but you got to know how to use it for it to benefit you. And so I'm going to spend, at least 1, 2, maybe 3 videos showing you my approach to using this type of equipment to do those types of jobs. And yeah, I think that'll be a really good deal to do that. So yeah, you gotta have a good mess kit. If you don't have this, and doing food becomes difficult, and that places stress on you, and that's not good in a survival situation. You want everything you do to be designed around relieving stress and removing stress, not adding to it. The next thing I want to talk about is making pine needle tea. And of course, a lot of people just rip pine needles off. Well, I don't like doing it that way. You see, what I have here is a mortar and pestle. This one is made out of black granite. And you can make a simple one of these out in the woods. And I usually don't carry one of these with me because of the weight of it. So usually what I do is I take the needles off of the sticks and I'll put the needles in the bowl. And I don't try tearing them up or nothing like that because I'm going to crush them all to, a near poultice. And as you'll see, as soon as I get done pulling these off, I'll take the mandrel and I'll just crush the pine needles. And what that does is it releases all the essential oils, all the flavors, all the oils in the plant. Yeah, it really does the food justice. So give it a mild crush like this. Yeah, I brought a real mortar and pestle out here just to demonstrate the real deal. This is the ideal situation right here. But you can improvise, you can bring something lightweight, something out in the woods. I'll make them out of wood, like the wooden one I'm showing you right here. This one has brown mustard seeds in it. It has a wooden mandrel. I'm using a black granite mortar and pestle. And then literally for a good cup of tea, that's all the material you need when you've smashed it up like that. So yeah, I'm just going to toss it in my stove right there. Yeah, all right. you try it like this, you'll be surprised how good it is. And how much more flavorful the tea can be, and how much less material it takes. When you use this method, it takes a lot less material. Because you release more of the surface area of the leaf, instead of just, you know, ripping the pieces off and letting the flavor soak out of the ends where it's broken. When you smash the entire leaf, the whole entire leaf gives off its flavor. So it's a lot more potent that way. I can smell it already. Oh, wow. Oh, that is so good. Alright, you know, and that's the proper way to you know, crush pine needles and make pine needle tea out of. Now all I got to do is add a little bit of honey to it, and wow, I'm good to go.